Let me welcome you once again to our Saturday classes. It promises to be an exciting time. We have already thanked God for the privilege of another Saturday, and that's one thing that we always like to do every Saturday when we come together, to thank our Maker for giving us opportunity to see another Saturday. We can't take it for granted. The gift of life is not something that we should take for granted. So we bless the name of our Lord for this privilege. For the benefit of ladies who are just joining us, this is Tabita Health and Wellness, uh, an online female forum where we talk about things that pertain to our health, about healthy eating and lifestyle. We encourage ourselves and lead other women to do the same. We do three major things on this platform. The first one is we teach, we educate ourselves, we empower ourselves with information that can help us to improve on our health. Number two thing that we do here is that we encourage one another because the road can be lonely. And so when we come together, iron sharpens iron, we encourage one another to do and to go all the way to do things that can impact on our health. And the third thing that we do is that we don't keep it to ourselves alone. We lead other women. We also reach out to other women. We lead others to do the same thing that we are doing. And by doing so, we are heading towards fulfilling our vision and our mission for Tabita Health and Wellness. Disclaimer: here we do not diagnose diseases. It is purely for educational purposes only. Therefore, if you have any medical issues, do not hesitate to see your healthcare provider or your physician. Thank you for listening. Today, we will also continue to talk about medicinal plants. We can't afford not to talk about medicinal plants. Aside from fruits and vegetables that we are used to or we are familiar with, there are also hundreds and thousands and millions of plants products that we can that are available for us, and we can take advantage of them, which are very beneficial for our health. So if you join us in the course of this month, you will realize that we'll be talking about medicinal plant, and the nutritional value and also the medicinal benefit. We talked about onions, we've talked about moringa, we've talked about this today. We will be talking about idon fruit. Idon fruit, controversial name sometimes. Some people say idon fruit is called by Yorubas called idol fruit. Some people say it is called idon pod. Some people say Ghanaians call it breskete. Now, idon is a popular name, or idon pod is another popular name. So now, if you go to the market to see, there's a four edges fruit. Is categorized as spice in a spice market, but not only spice market alone. You can find them. You can find them with the Malams, with the Hausas, the northern part of Nigeria. You can find them there. You can also find them in local markets. You can find them in foreign, and you can find them for those in the diaspora. You can find them in the local markets, farmers markets, and different places like that. On big stores, you can always find Eden pot there. It's very popular one there. The medicinal and nutritional benefits of idon fruit is something that we should know. Unfortunately, idon fruit is not a popular one to so many, okay, and it is underutilized. If as a matter of fact, it was in the course of studying plant and the plant product that I discovered. I came across. I see it, but honestly, I do not know. I don't pay attention to it. I see this blackish stuff like that. Some people put it as pepper spice. I don't use it. I don't buy them until I came in contact with plant, and I began to discover the medicinal and the nutritional benefits of this great plant. It is botanically called Tetrapetra tetraplural. That's what they call it botanically. So when you call this botanical name, all over the world, anywhere you mention this, it will be recognized. It will be that's a name that is popularly that is called, botanically. Many know it as idon, many, like I said, but some other people call it different names. But I sent a picture to us the last time, and if you still want it after the class, I will send the image of idon to you. A lot of scientific research studies have been done to ascertain the medicinal benefits of this great plant. It is amazing, it's mind blowing. As we go into it, you will see it's something that you should always have at home. You should always have at home, honestly. Um, idon is an underutilized plant, but very powerful and medicinal. Very powerful and medicinal, I tell you. And it is one of the indigenous fruit species that serves as both food and medicine. You see, that's why we say, let your food be the medicine, and your medicine, okay, be the food. It is not that you eat for eating sake alone. You eat to nourish your body. You eat to ensure that every part of your organs are functioning correctly. And the only thing that God gave to us to nourish our bodies, our God-given organs, the only thing God prescribed for them is food, fruit, fruits, vegetables, plants, minerals, vitamins. These are all the healthy fats. These are all the things that God made provision for. And it will surprise you that every plant, I think I mentioned it last time, that every plant that you see on the surface of the earth has its own oil. That's why they call them, all those oils, essential oils. They have specific, and the oils as well, they are used for certain medicinal purposes. And we're not going deeply into the use of, here we just open our mind or our eyes of understanding to start to this plant. Not that we are going deeply into the chemical compounds and all of that. We are not doing that because it's not a school per se. So we just try to open our mind. Then you can go further to do more studies concerning any of the plants mentioned. But the little we talk about is enough to trigger great interest in you and to go further to use some of these things. And I want to say here that sometimes some people feel that why are we doing too much of this plant and byproduct? They are things that are powerful, that have high nutrient dense, and that we can't afford to overlook them, especially when God said that He has given us the trees, the plants, the fruit bearing trees for our food and for our medicine. If God has said so, so who are we to question Him? Who are we to question God? So He has said it, and we must follow what He has prescribed for us. Having said that, I want to encourage you, like I always do regularly. Do not be biased. Do not frown at this plant product and condemn them, just as we have been told before. Just as we have been brainwashed that these plants, yes, they are active. They have active ingredients in them, but doesn't make them to be harmful to our body system. Abuse of everything, like I've always said to us, is what is bad. If you abuse even things that you think they are healthy, like fruit and vegetables, if you overheat them, it can trigger other things in your body system. That's why nutritionists and experts says that you should eat 5 to 6 servings. Some say 5, some say 6, some say 9 servings of fruits throughout the day. Vegetables and fruits, the mix of the two. Vegetables and fruits, servings per day. Not that you should carry the bunch of banana and eat the entire thing because you want to eat healthy. That is a disaster to our body system. So balance is very critical. So all of these plants, we must ensure and exercise. We must use moderation, whenever we are eating them. And the way we use them here, there is nothing. We are not doing anything overboard. We are just using it, mildly. It's not that we are going overboard with them. Idol fruit has the following, but not limited to this. It has certain minerals that we mention, but it's not only limited to these minerals. It has magnesium, it has potassium, it has manganese, it has calcium, it has sodium, phosphorus, it has zinc, it has vitamin C, it has iron, and so many things, and so many minerals, and so many minerals. That's that black thing that you see. Now, if for many of us that did the challenge last week, if you notice that if you drop idon in water, allow it to do for some time, or maybe you just boil it or warm it a bit, you would see that it will turn like brownish, goldish brownish, golden brownish color. It will turn the water goldish brown. That is some of the active ingredients inside. You can't just, honestly, we cannot but just celebrate and appreciate our maker. That those things inside the water, they're not just goldish brown thing alone. They are the active, some of the active ingredients that are brewed, that you just brewed inside the water. And taking them means that you are increasing your mineral level in your body system. And these are the things that excite the organs in our body system. So if you take them, you are improving your health automatically. Of course, there are other ways that you can use them, and I will mention them shortly. Now, the presence of some phytochemicals. Now, when you brew that, you see those colors in, those are the phytochemicals. And I've also shared with us here that it's not the pounded yam or whatever things that you eat that the organs of your body recognize, organs in your body recognize. It is the active ingredient in them that make them useful to the organs. Now, when you eat your food and nothing active ingredient that your organ can recognize as part of the thing that it can use or utilize to function, then it will discard them. And when they cannot discard them, when they discard them and they cannot get out of your body system, they begin to cause other problems in our body. So that is why they said, let your food be their medicine. So any food that you are eating that doesn't have that properties of becoming your medicine, then it's not supposed to be your food. You are not supposed to put it in your mouth. Inflammation is at a higher level. That's why we have osteoarthritis, we have rheumatoid arthritis, we have lupus, we have all kinds of things in our body system. We have inflammation that also causes problems, cancer problems, and all of that. Okay, these things start from irritation of the cells. Now, certain things that we do that we have power over, we do them either by ignorance, you do them because you don't even know so much about what you're doing, and ignorance is not an excuse. You do it, your organs doesn't know that, your cells doesn't know whether you understand or not. What happens is that the command is what your cells understand. When you take those things and begin to irritate your cells begin to misbehave. They start changing their DNA, and that's just the theory of, and honestly, that's just the theory of cancer. When the DNA of your cells, the cells is a chamber, round form things like that. It has the cell membrane, it has the cytoplasm, it has the inside the mitochondrion, it has the ATP, formation of energy, it has so many, it has inside the nucleus where the DNA of the cells there. That's where our DNA, where we are linked, genetic and all of that are linked to. By the time they get, the distance between those things is really, really not a close one. By the time the cells are irritated, now begin to change their form, their DNA begin to change. That is when you begin to have issues with cancer and all of that. And that's also what they do, the kind of test they do. They check the state of the cells. When the cells in your body begin to change their DNA, that is when they begin to categorize the cancer issue. They know that there's a cancer problem. There's a shape the cells will take, that they will know that this tumor or whatever is malignant or is benign. So if the things that we do on a daily basis that we have power over, we drink, we eat, we do this, and that's why God is all knowing and all wise God, all God that is rich in wisdom. He knows the beginning, the end of the thing from the beginning, and that's why he has put these things in place. He knows that we're going to come in contact with certain factors that we will not be able to, can't have control over. But he has given us things that you and I, we have control over them. We have power over them. We can eat, we make choices of our food, drink, and everything. So these ones are able to challenge the inflammation problems or things that can irritate your cells. And before you know it, your body bounces back. You see, because I wish that when things happen to us, you can just use the remote control to control it and say no, you set it up. I wish we can do that, but unfortunately it's not something that we can achieve. But what can achieve that is all of these things that we are sharing, talking about now and every now and then impacting our body, building our body system with some of these things. Now, this idol fruit has anti-inflammatory properties. It has anti-diabetic properties. It has anti-parasitic properties. It has anti-emetic properties. That is against parasite. It has anti-cancer properties. It has anti-protozoa uh, properties, e.g., anti-malaria and antiviral properties. Now, studies also confirms the anti-convulsant, analgesic, and hypothermic properties of this great plant. Okay, what am I saying about this? It's saying that this simple pod and fruit that you see, some studies have confirmed that the popular use of this fruit for treatment is reality. They use treatment of convulsion. They use it for convulsion. Yes, certain processes they use it for, and they use it for conversion. That it's also been shown that for the management of leprosy, you know, there are people who are vast in the use of plants. Okay, beyond what we are doing, what we are using it for. We soak it in water, drink it. These are just minimal way of just applying this product. That's other ways that you can use them and I could achieve some results. So they're saying that this is powerful. It's also used for management of leprosy. Then anti-inflammation, like we talked about, the extract of this plant is known for its anti-inflammatory properties. As a result, it can be used for reducing inflammation of the body. So if you have tendency for inflammation, it's something idon pot is something that you can use very well. What about for infection? Idon pot is amazing for infection. It can be used, combination of idon fruits with certain products can help with infection management very, very well. Studies also reveal that the plant has mollucidal properties, suggesting why this plant has a pesticide fighting against pests. Some people use it to repel mosquitoes. So let me pause here and give us the remedies, the recipe that I want to share tonight. The number one, so I'm not seeing participation, so I'm not sure I'm going to share the second one because I cannot see any emoji, somebody responding, I cannot see it, so I will not share the second one. Okay, so the recipe, number one recipe that I'm going to share is this: idon fruit plus lemongrass. Okay, cut idon fruit into small pieces. When you cut them into small pieces, then get lemongrass. Cut lemongrass as well into small pieces. Make sure when you are using your lemongrass, you make sure that you also use the root part. That's where the essential oils to are loaded. The nutrient of lemongrass is loaded at that root. The upper part is greenish, the down part seems like a light white or so. So you approach it from the root and then cut them into pieces and throw them, infuse them into any of your oils. You can use coconut oil, you can use almond oil, you can use jojoba oil, you can use any oil that you want to use. You can use any of those oil. Olive oil too, you can use it as well. Infuse it inside, soak it there for like 3 to 5 days or 7 days. The more you put them there, the more powerful it will be. Once you soak them there inside, then you can drain it out and then drain out the idon and the lemongrass, remove it, and then your oil now gives you your anti repellent, mosquito repellent. So you can use it to rub your body, your legs, or insect and all of that. When you go to some places like that, you can also use it there. You can also use it when you go out gardening and all of that. For culinary purposes, this is also known for its distinguished aromatic fragrance. You can also use it for your dishes. You can use it to make soups. You can use it to make what's it called now? All those soups that you make at home, you can use them. You can use it as spices. You can use it for different dishes at home. You can cut them into pieces and mix it with other spices. We have done that before. I think it's one of the ingredients for Holy Ghost spices, one of the spices that we learned on the platform. So it's one of the spices that one of the raw materials. You can put them together and then blend them and then make them into your powder spices and all of that. You can also use them for skin problems. That is one powerful thing that idon fruit is known for. Idon fruit is very powerful with skin problems. You can soak it, cut them into pieces, soak them, like I said, into oil. You can put them like that, infuse them, and use it to rub your skin. You can also use it, cut it like that, and infuse it into your soaps. I use it to bath for skin irritation. Is amazing. It's amazing. So you can try them. If you have any skin irritation, skin problems, you can put them in powder form. As a matter of fact, some of these things that we share with us, I think that some people are doing well with them. Buy them, cut them into pieces, dry them well, powderize them, or just buy them, keep them. When you need these things, you can always reach out to them, cut them into pieces, and rub them in your skin. Try them out. If it works, fine. If it doesn't work, then you leave it. But of course, it works for other people, then I think that it should work for you. So you should just have those things at home. Somebody told me that, our cupboard is filled with things. Yes, my cupboards are filled with it because you don't know even when you need it. In fact, I want to encourage us that you can mix many of these things together. Put them in your soup. Like I sprinkle moringa on my food. I sprinkle moringa on my food. I sprinkle cayenne pepper on my food. As I feel like, just the way I'm feeling that day, or the way I just want to do it, put it and sprinkle on my food and eat it, and nothing happened. It's just you're building your immune system. In worst case scenario, you don't know how to use this thing. Put them into your spices, make them as spices, make them as teas, and all of that. Enjoy the goodness of plant, and don't let anybody be telling us that, oh, they can damage they can damage your organs, that you're joking with your organs and all of that. Please, many of these things are just stories. They are not found to be fake. Of course, there are certain things, like I said, over abuse of everything is very, very wrong. If you abuse anything, it's wrong. When people ask me such questions, I say, what about, did they also talk about the effect and the damaging effect of the likes of ice cream, pizzas, and all of those things, chocolate drinks? And did they tell us about the effect of those ones? They are more damaging. Or did they tell us the effect of acetaminophen and all that found in paracetamol and all of that, ibuprofen and all that, that is dangerous, that has to be out of the market, out of the shelf? But yet, people put them in their bag and they use them, abuse them every now and then. Just any little pain, they are they indulge in the paracetamol. Not to talk of some of these plants that are created by God, and you can use them well for your own good. So please do not abuse. Let anybody not um, um, abuse any of this plant, and don't let anybody talk you into the negative part of this plant. Everything has a good part. Everything has its own other part. Enjoy plant as much as you can. Then this fruit is also particularly good for asthma. It's also good. Idon can be used. I have seen people use idon. I've seen some of our colleagues use idon mixed with certain things to help with asthma. It's amazing how some of these things can work for the things that are problems around us. Okay. So another very important one that I would like us to talk about tonight is the fact that it is very good for cleansing for women, cleansing the womb and the pelvic region for women. This is one area that I'm interested in. Do you know that certain times when we menstruate, and I want us to listen to this. I will continue in the next voice note. So the presence of these phytochemicals and other bioactive compounds of iodine gives it the extract of the plant's essentials. It's really these extracts, the plant essentials and biological properties that are very, very useful for us. And some of the properties are antimicrobial properties, e.g., for antifungi and antibacterial properties, antioxidant properties. Now, all of these things I'm mentioning, that sounds like big grammar. No, they are things that every day, every day of our life, that we battle with them. We battle with fungi, we battle with microbes, bacteria, we battle with viruses and all of that. We battle with these things that causes that are capable of causing problems in our body system. And when you are ingesting the things that can combat them as well, the things that can stop them, okay? Now you are empowering your body system from the problem extending to the next phase, because it is not immediately something happened to you. It's not immediate malaria parasite, the protozoa, they bite you that you start having malaria. It's not immediately. It takes certain days for them to begin to manifest, get into the liver, begin to break down certain things, and your liver is not able to capture them or to trash them, or your immune system is not able to capture them and trash them. They get transported to your bloodstream and they can move to other things to cause problem. So now the theory is, if your organs responsible to capture them, they're energized enough to do the work, or they're not too overwhelmed by the things that you're stuffing them with, they will rise up and begin to work. So what you are doing in essence is that all of these things that you are doing, why are they doing? Why are we doing them? We're doing them so that you can energize those systems that are responsible to attack or to attack and challenge certain things that can cause problems in our body system. So if you have things coming into your body that are able to cause you problems, and then begin to see the soldiers in your body are so energized by some of these things you are doing, the moringa things, onions, they are powerful antioxidants that you are drinking, they are putting in your body system, they will rise up to the challenge and they will wage war against those strange things that want to break you down. This is one thing I want all of us to please pay attention to. When women, we are made up, we are made up of several things that make us seem complicated. And we are not complicated. It's just the way God created us, wired us together. Because of our makeup, our hormones are always working. It is this hormone that some of us that we are blaming. These hormones are the ones responsible for puberty. They are responsible for breast growth. If there's no hormone, this is an estrogen and the likes, there will not be growth of there will not be puberty. There won't be breast, there won't be vaginal, womb, and all of that, all those development, all those things, there won't even be recreation. Some of these things that happen to that God put to us are the things that God put there for the benefit of humanity. Now, because of these things, and because we don't have the knowledge on how to care for them or understanding, also I wish I knew some of these things earlier. And that's why we do our children more good to educate them. I try as much as I can to educate my own as well. But you can always try, and pray that God will teach them more. Now, this our hormones goes left, right, front, back, it just goes on and on. That's why you hear things that we call hormone imbalance because of certain environmental factors, nutritional factors, and different factors, genetics and all of that. Now, when this thing happens, it causes a lot of problems in our body system. If you are a woman here, you will notice very well that when you are menstruating, your breasts will be feeling certain things. Either your nipples is heavy, some have tenderness of the breast, some have this. So you want to ask me, what is the connection between you menstruating and your breast feeling this tingling effect? When you are about to menstruate, for me, I feel it. I start feeling the sensation towards my breast side, left and right side. I know, or when you're ovulating. It happens for every one of us. When this thing happens, things are going on in our body system, especially when we are menstruating. And when you menstruate, when you finish menstruating, some of the things did not go out completely. And you will remember or agree with me that they always advise us that after menstruation, our monthly cycle, we should do our self-breast examination, correct? That means that certain things, deposition happens within our breasts at that time. So Research has shown that we need to constantly, after our menstruation period, we need to do a clean out. This theory, some people understand it so well and they use idon very well. They make it as pepper soup. After the menstruation, they use idon food to clean out their system, especially people, women who are just giving birth. And when I open the room, I want people to share their experiences using this idon, please. They use it as pepper soup for women who just gave birth, especially the Igbos. You see, their mothers, when they're coming for Omego, they come with this kind of spices and all that. It's not a joke, but because it's the age of the Gen Z's mothers and all that, they say, Mommy, don't bring these things. Oh, I don't want to. I'm not going to use them. Those are the things that do cleansing, removal of debris, blood deposition. Those things are the things that also contribute to fibroid growth. So we need to constantly be cleaning our body system. That's why I'm taking time to talk about it here. So idol is one thing that we can use as cleansing system for our body system. Do you also know that idol, this same idol fruit, are being used for some certain people to shrink fibroid? They use it, put it together with other things, and then they use it, one of the ingredients. Some people compose this, one of their ingredients, to use for to fibroid. Some just drink the water, some put it as their spices and all of that. And if you continue doing this or giving our children, you can see that knowledge will help us to ensure that our children doesn't come down with early fibrous issues and all of that, because most of us as women, we are prone to fibroid because of some of these things that happen to us, genetic changes, hormonal imbalance and all of that happen. And no one even knows when certain things will happen to you, and your hormone will just go gaga and it will just be imbalanced. So we need to constantly be doing certain things to ensure. And another thing that I shared last time is that onion juice is also one of the things that we can use to remove blockages, to clean out the system, to remove certain things that can affect our body system. So it is important that we pay attention to this particular idol fruit. I'm hoping that I'll be able to share certain things as well later in the future, maybe not today, to share certain things in the future, how we can also compose this idol fruit to mix with certain things to help us to build our immune system or build our blood level in the nearest future. But this one, let's take this one for now and make sure that idol is part of our spices, at least at, if that is the least we can do. Let's put it, cut it into pieces, and then put it in water. It's right inside my kettle now, and I just put it in there. I just take it, and if you see it tastes like, sometimes you want to take sweet and honey or something. The flavor is rich. Some people use the water to cook other things as well. So if you want to also use it to cook, make sure that you cook it, cut it in your pot, and put it in your pot early enough so that it can dissolve, and all the nutrients and the goodness will dissolve it. And you can remember to remove it when you are done. Just remove it from that thing before you now start other necessary cooking. Now, this is where I'm going to stop. So next, I hope we have been able to grab certain things about idol fruit. And then for our challenge this, we have few days to our challenge. We will continue our idol fruit. Now you can use the idol fruit. You can boil it and make it. Use the water to make any tea that you want to make. Use the idon fruit, mix it with water, and use it to make the tea that you want to use. You can boil it. No, last time we only throw it inside water. This time you can boil it and then make it at your tea. Use it and add your tea inside and then drink it. Then you can also use it as your spices this week before we enter May, when we start our breast challenge fully. We have just few days now to today to Tuesday, and on Wednesday, by the grace of God, we will be starting our breast care challenge. I want to believe that we all remember all the things that we need to do for our breast care. Please go and bring out your notes and then get out your raw materials. I know frankincense, of course, if you have bought frankincense before, of course, you still have your frankincense, you have your castor oil, you have your soursop. If you don't have it today, you can buy soursop more. You have your bitter leaf. We're going to use bitter leaf. We're going to be using onions as well. And then, of course, all the other things that we did the last time, so that we can help to build to build our body system, and then to nourish our blood. We said that the gifts that God has given to us by the grace of God is not going to become a something that will sniff life out of us. Breast is for pleasure, For many of us are married, for our husband, breastfeeds, breast gives life to our children. When you give birth to children, to your babies, you feed them, it gives them life. This same breast should not sniff life out of us. And we are praying and we're trusting God. We are holding on to the covenant keeping God, that He will keep us. He will protect us for the menace of breast cancer that is ravaging in the world today. That you and I will be free from it by the grace and mercy of God. We do our part and we trust God to continually protect us and cause His banner not to be banner of protection to be over us, over our children by the grace and mercy of God. I need to say next week, I will also talk more. Next week, we'll talk more when we're talking about the breast care. I'll be sharing certain truths with us, and I pray that the Lord will open our eyes to more on this, more knowledge of things that are happening presently. There are new things going on now, and there are things that I'll be sharing certain things with us. I trust God that the Lord will help us by the grace and mercy of God. Thank you for listening. God bless you, and have a wonderful